Hi, Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for the week beginning the 8th of June 2025. The energy around this reading is of the Queen of Cups, and this may be a woman coming into your life who is Cancerian or Scorpio or Pisces, or it may be that you have that person in your life and they're being supportive or they're a good friend, but it can also be about you really embracing that side of yourself that is intuitive, like the water sign women. And often fire signs have water in their charts. So it's about looking to your intuition, looking to your emotions. Where is that leading you? What is that indicating for you? So let's have a closer look. So, yes, it's talking here about leaving turmoil for peace, and this happening very quickly. The Six of Swords is there's waves on this side of the boat and there's peace on the other side, and it's leaving this tumultuous, emotional, wavy side and heading towards peaceful shores. And this is happening quickly. And it is about having boundaries, putting yourself first, not being around people who are focused on the negative. And this might be something that you've put off for a period of time, but now it's coming up for you to deal with. You have other responsibilities and other things to work towards, and things are going ahead very quickly. When the Chariot comes up, it is about moving above and beyond and circling higher and higher. And the Seven of Cups is about what do you want and what do you want to bring into your life. And what they're talking about here is following your passion. It is your path. The Ace of Wands is saying, yes, you do have some very positive things on your path, possibly to do with work and long-term new beginnings to do with work that are coming up for you as ideas that you're putting into practice. They're saying, don't fight wars within yourself that don't exist. Everything is able to be overcome. These are challenges, but you're able to overcome them. And you have the Sun here, which is about new beginnings that are totally positive, not negative at all, and where you might feel blessed, and people might look at you and think, oh my goodness, that person is so lucky. But really, it's because you've done the work, you've put in the hours, and then these golden opportunities appear in front of you. You will be possibly walking away from something and taking your knowledge and building something greater. And you might feel like you might have to do this on your own, but in actual fact, they're talking about new people coming into your life who are members of your soul group. They could be people coming in from the past as well. And that this brings about new friendships. This could also be family being supportive. This also indicates family. But even if you don't have the support, it's about doing this yourself. Sagittarians are pretty good at stepping onto the path themselves and making those decisions. You may have, some of you may have had quite a difficult childhood where you felt a bit isolated or alone, but that has given you great resilience and resources within yourself. Also, Sagittarians all went through Pluto conjunct Sun about 20 odd years ago, and that is, a real rebirth. They say it's death of the ego, but it's to do with you being reborn as a better, higher, more vibrant self. And also, it's really, this is a positive period in your life. You are going into much more positive chapters. You are a very good friend, and this is talking about you balancing friendship with your career and work. You may be working very diligently at something, but this reaps rewards in the short term even. Things are on pause in some areas while you sort out the issues that are popping up, but you have success to do with this. And the big question is, what will make me happy that I've done at the end of my life, and what will I regret having done or not having done? Justice is about the weighing of the heart against that of a feather. And it's about having no regrets. So this is saying here you have new beginnings to do with hope and positivity. This could be around relationships as well, because the karmic wheel is turning to the chapter in your life where, well, this is the old traditional card of marriage. The Hierophant is also a card of marriage, because the Hierophant is actually a ceremony to do with partnership, and the Knight of Wands could be a divine partner, a divine counterpart. So not too bad for love. You also have the possibility of moving, but because the Chariot is moving and fours are home, but it would be a home that where you feel really peaceful and happy, and it's like a win. It's what you've wanted, and you bring this in. So yes, you're seeing things from a different perspective, partly because you've been through so much, but also because you've put the work in. And so these are good. When things are on pause, it's just try something slightly different and you'll have this success. Oh, travel. They're asking you to look at plans for travel. This is the line of thought, but the way that you're thinking is what you are bringing into your life. And this is, you may feel like it's a bit of a difficulty, or you've tried to arrange this before, but there's some sort of divine help coming in, which means that you can travel. And this would be short trips overseas, which look extremely positive. And yeah, well, again, this is the card of the divine counterpart, and overcoming the past. The Five of Cups is sometimes about having given up on love, or feeling like because of the past you're not going to attract the right person. But this is saying you need someone who really appreciates you and sees you for who you are, and you know, also respects your boundaries, is independently financial, not dependent on you financially, and great victory over the difficulties you've been through to do with love. Oh wow! So the Ace of Cups is unconditional love, and the Ace of Swords is overcoming difficulties, great victory, and these are things that have been on hold, because the Hangman is about suspension and things being on hold so that you can see things from a different perspective. The Ten of Wands is emotions that you've pushed down and you haven't dealt with. You may have been on your own for a long time. You're quite used to being on your own, but there is the possibility of love here, most definitely, especially with, two aces. Of course, if you like being on your own, that doesn't mean that you have to be with someone else, but it is it's wonderful. The Ace of Cups is unconditional love, and love just is. No one gives us love or takes love away from us. We can just feel love. So you've probably already discovered that. This is great peace and contentment and happiness, but you find it within yourself. This is really about you nurturing yourself, and nurturing yourself emotionally, knowing how to do that because of the past. Because this is the line of karma, but it also traces your life in some ways. And that's why it showed in the past you have been through difficulties where you felt very alone and you weren't looked after. But now you've learned so much. This is also talking about creativity, and the creativity coming from the subconscious. When we step into our creativity, when we're doing something creative, we lose ourselves. The time flies. We're just in the moment. And that also is something that seems to be very important. It also fits with the Queen of Cups. These are very Queen of Cups sort of cards, creativity and emotional depth. They're saying, yes, you are looking more towards the past with wisdom, to do with when you may have acted too quickly or acted against your own intuition and how you've sabotaged yourself. But now you're listening to yourself much more. And also you're thinking about what has made you happy in the past and what hasn't, and what was an illusion. And it is, a release of it's rebuilding and renewal. It's an opportunity to rebuild with new knowledge and a stronger foundation. So things, yeah, this is the emotional lesson that you've learned and that you're flying above. You've spent time analyzing this. This can also mean some sort of opportunity within a large organization that is kind to its staff or serves the people well who it's meant to serve. And you may be working within a large organisation, or this could be an opportunity coming back from the past for you to work within this organisation. Again, more about love. Some of this seems to be a wedding because we've got the Hierophant, which is the ceremony, and this is a celebration to do with a wedding. So you may be going to a wedding, but it looks very joyful. Could be your wedding. But they're reminding you that love comes in many forms. We have love from different people in different ways. You definitely are stepping more into a leadership role in areas of your life, and this is what you need, Sagittarius, because you are very independent. You do have leadership qualities. You are a teacher. You are here to help people in some way. But this, on a more ordinary level, is about getting your house organised. So you might be having a big clear out and bringing in light, cleaning the windows even, but also clearing out old stuff. When we organise our houses, it's great practically because you know where everything is, but also it gives you much greater peace. If you have beauty around you at home and order, it gives you greater peace, and you can be more productive in your home. It also affects you on an emotional level. So if everything's in disarray and disorganized, you can sink into a hole pretty quickly. So that's just reminding you. They are saying in the past you may have fallen in love, and falling in love is an illusion because it's where we project what we want onto that person, and we may think they're wonderful and fantastic and everything, and then they may not be for us. So it has been a bit of a backward step, but they're saying it's not a backward step. You're learning from this, and you're learning how to listen to your own intuition. You may have felt, oh, I don't know if this is the right person for me, but gone against that. So this is saying listen to yourself and don't think, this is very much a love reading, very interesting. Don't think that just because love hasn't worked out in the past, that it's not going to work out in the future. That is the card of marriage proposal. Obviously, you're not all going to get married. This is a reading for the collective, Sagittarius collective. But you need someone who has worked on themselves emotionally, who has emotional depth, who hasn't just pushed everything off into, other people's, they've just blamed other people or got a drinking problem or something. You need someone who has a positive view for the future and who you have common goals. Of course, we don't need to do everything together in relationships, and that's what the Hierophant's talking about. Being in a marriage or a relationship where you can both do your own thing and come back together and enjoy the time together and reflect on, different things in your lives. They are talking about your huge potential to do with the spiritual. Of course, Sagittarius is the sign of the centaur, and he has a bow, an arrow, and he's not aiming at things on earth, he's aiming at the stars. So this is about higher knowledge, interest in things like transcendental meditation or how we visualize and manifest things in our lives, and tapping that resource and changing our lives in a positive way. This is talking here about you making decisions based on your own integrity, what feels right to you. And this can be done quite suddenly and quickly. And sure, you may make a decision, this is around work, to expand on your career in some way that's quite creative. And yeah, you may face some sort of challenge. You know, for me with YouTube, I've had to learn all sorts of things. And then this week, my software crashed after doing about 30 readings and just didn't work anymore. So I had to troubleshoot that, then find new software. But I did it, and now I've got better software. So, you just overcome these challenges, and it's about not giving up. There are many opportunities around you at the moment, and you are being guided. This is the card of the spirit guide. So ask for their help. Ask for your spirit guide's help. You do have, this is talking about very good health and that expanding in some way due to you maybe making some changes to do with health. But also, this is a new opportunity to do with growth, to do with the public or groups of people in some way, and you may be being guided towards that. So, Sagittarius, this is sort of a love reading in many ways. So, have a lovely time. Have a great week. And I'll see you next week. God bless.